Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Signal Tailgunner. This board features Signal's directional camber, which is rocker in the nose, and then camber throughout the rest of the board. The camber section is going to give you all the load, pop, snap, and drive of this board, while that rocker section in the nose is going to give you ease of entry in and out of turns as well as more optimal powder float. This board is available in 148, 154, 158, 162, and 166. I rode this board at Arapahoe Basin on a sunny bluebird day with 5+ inches of pow. There was midday choppy pow, so you had ice, chunder, chop, and soft corduroy, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. This board's overall flex comes in just below a middle-of-the-road freeride flex, making it more playful and lively. It is directional in nature, so that means softer nose that progressively stiffens up to the tail. That softer nose is also accentuated by the rocker out there, so at speeds you're going to get some flap in that, and that chatter is going to resonate back underfoot. The midsection of this board, while camber, is still very lively and playful, so keep your knees bent because you can get bucked around. Basically, this board isn't as stiff as people think it was going to be, or at least it wasn't for me, and I just noticed right away that you wanted to make sure that you were a little more calculated with how you came into it and approached things, because you could get bucked around. The camber section of this board is very easy to engage, and almost all the snap comes out of the back foot. As you have less tail, it's very easy to get on the outside of that binding and just pop off that rear contact point. It's still not the snappiest board I've been on, but it has more than enough pop to get the job done, and you never really have to worry about it. One thing I want to note with buttering on this board is that if you set your stance a little more forward, you're going to have an easier time. It's already got so much natural setback in it, and just with the shape, that if you go with reference or setback, you're really going to have to leverage your weight out over the front foot to engage that rocker in the nose and really get an optimal press out of it. So I would suggest that maybe setting it a little bit forward would help the ride of it. For this, that's kind of your call. Now with the tail, it's stiffer. You're basically doing high-speed tail wheelies with this thing. So when you get in pow, you're just all the way back and you're just sort of planing along on it. Basically, it's not the most butterable board out there. When it comes to carving, there's a bit of a delay. There's a slow engagement outside the front foot. It makes this board more methodical. But as you get up to speed, you really drive it and steer it from inside that rear foot, so you really flex into the center of the camber, and that changes the whole dynamic. It gives you the power to just apex the carve. Short, tight, slow setup turns are really going to be a bit of a struggle with this board, but it's those medium, long, drawn out carves where you're swooping from one side of the trail back to the other that this board truthfully shines. And when you want to lay it over, you can. It will handle it to a point. If you think you're going to just do deep, hard Euro carves all the time, dragging your stomach or your butt on the ground, think again. It's got those limitations. It's not going to let you. But when you do need to occasionally lay it over, it'll handle it. Who's this board for? The pow-chasing free ride guy that wants a softer, flexing, tapered deck. Overall, I think this board might be a little too soft for how they describe it. It was one of those boards that if I was in fresh snow, I could totally slash and I had no problems. But the second I got into lumpy terrain, I needed to keep my knees bent, otherwise it was gonna buckle. I drilled an ice boulder like first thing in the morning with this, and I thought I broke the board. It hit that hard. When I checked it out, it was fine, so I know that it's sturdy, but my God, my body felt that the rest of the day. Basically, this board's for someone that wants to listen to Iron Maiden's Tailgunner and spray and slay when it's fresh snow. But when it goes to lumpy snow, you need to switch over to Judas Priest breaking the law and then just pop off everything in your path and spray skiers. Comparable boards: the K2 Instrument, the Battalion Camel Toe. Binding recommendations: the Rome Katana, the K2 Lean AT, the Solomon Hologram. This has been my review of the Signal Tailgunner. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.